dangerous. Don't drive impaired. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Hey guys, it's Nick Sainer. Join me and the rest of the 93.7 The Ticket crew as we bring you live coverage of the 2026 NSAA Boys State Basketball Tournament from Pinnacle Bank Arena. The action tips off Wednesday, March 11th. If it's being played at Pinnacle Bank Arena, it's heard on The Ticket, Class A to Class D2 all week long. Join us March 11th through March 14th as we crown 6 state champions at the 2026 NSAA Boys State Basketball Tournament right here on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Spring sports are here and it's time to upgrade your equipment. But don't go rushing to your big box store. Play It Again Sports is your place to go for all spring sports equipment for baseball, softball, golf, and disc golf. Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And don't forget, buying from them is a great way to get new products with great discounts by also bringing in your used items for store credit or cash on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
MWR, a local company of Lincoln, is proud to announce they are able to offer their own post-frame building packages in metal to anyone desiring a building, whether you're a contractor or a DIYer. They can install your building as always, and they offer multiple different rib profiles and loads of color options, including the wood grain metal at great competitive prices. You can inquire at mwrbuildingandfence.com or just draw your desired building and submit it in their Contact Us page, and they'll get back to you. Call MWR today at 402-540-8966. Big value and big flavor meet at Wings and Rings thanks to the all-new delicious Duo Combo. This is the one you've been waiting for. Get one half-sized appetizer and 2 entrees with a side for only $19.99. Bring a friend for the best deal in town on any day of the week, during game time, or whenever the heck you want. Their made-to-order wings and chicken sandwiches are waiting for you at their 68th and O and 40th and Old Cheney locations. Stop by Wings and Rings and celebrate every day with the best meal deal in town.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
A membership with John Henry's will fast-track you to front-of-the-line service, seasonal tune-ups, and far fewer unexpected moments. That means no breakdowns, no waiting on a call, and no nonsense. It's consistent care that prevents small issues from turning into big bills. Join the Comfort Club and get VIP treatment 365 days a year with 24-hour priority response, member-only discounts, and peace of mind on your home's most expensive systems. Call John Henry's.
John Henry's Plumbing, heating and air,
and electrical.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197. 93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize to participate in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the KNTK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeited. Thank you for participating in our contests, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here on 93.7 The Ticket every Saturday morning now in our new time. We're on from 8 to 9 with the weekly Husker Online radio show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m.
Welcome into Serve and Volley, featuring Nebraska assistant coach and recruiting coordinator Jaylen Reyes. Serve and Volley gives you a look behind the curtain of Nebraska volleyball and a coach's perspective on the world of college athletics. Serve and Volley is sponsored by Love Volleyball Nebraska. Become a Love Volleyball Nebraska member for your chance to engage with Love and its players. Now it's time for First Serve on Serve and Volley with your host, Jaylen Reyes.
All right, welcome in to Serve and Volley. Harrison Arns on the ones and twos. We got associate head coach of the volleyball program, Jaylen Reyes, in studio as always. We mentioned it off air, celebrating great weather. Once again, Jaylen, how's it going on Tuesday, March 10th?
Cannot complain, and it's like clockwork, man. Every time we come in here, it's like really, really nice weather. I know it wasn't as nice as yesterday, but no, it's been great. It's got back from Arizona on Sunday, and it seems like we kind of brought the nice weather back from Arizona with us, and it's gonna be nice the next couple of days. So we're happy to be here.
Yeah, it's been phenomenal. I know over the weekend, and definitely for us covering NSAA state basketball, the women's of last week, and then of course this weekend, it was great to have some nice weather. Then hopefully that keeps up as we get ready to cover the men's state basketball starting tomorrow, Wednesday. But to your point, you guys got back from traveling out there in Arizona, currently 11-2. And I think the only teams that beat you is Arizona State, Arizona.
Yep, those are the two ones that beat us.
I think both those are ranked top 25, and one's top 10.
One's, I think Arizona State's like 8, and Arizona is like 17 or 18. So they're both really, really, really talented, and you can just tell like a lot of those players, they just know how to play this beach volleyball, versus our girls. We're still learning.
Fair enough. Well, and let's kind of talk about those two losses. What makes those guys so good? Like when you say they just know how to play, is it just the familiarity of playing in the sand?
Playing doubles, playing in the sand, playing in the outdoor elements. That's kind of a big thing. I know a little bit of wind, for the sports fans out there, a little bit of wind necessarily doesn't maybe affect like a baseball game or a football game, but a little bit of wind in a beach volleyball game like changes so much, so changes where you serve, where you hit the ball, where your defensive strategy. It changes so much that there's so many layers that if I'm being honest, our players still just don't understand because of the lack of experience versus like a top 25 beach team where those kids nowadays in beach volleyball, a lot, for those that don't know, the teams that are ranked in the top 25 or in the top 10 especially, those players that are playing on those teams, they're not indoor volleyball players anymore. Some of them now, because having conversations, sometimes beach volleyball is a little more relaxed where you have some players on the team that are just kind of hanging out behind a bench. I'll just kind of turn and we'll start talking. Some of these kids don't even play indoor volleyball anymore. They just grow up playing beach volleyball, depending, if you grow up in Arizona, California, Florida, Texas, you can play club and indoor volleyball all year round now, especially in states with nice weather, where they don't even play indoor. So they spend literally the same amount of time our girls play indoor volleyball growing up, they play beach volleyball. So they have a mastery of the skill and of the sport that our players, we try to force feed it in a microwave to them, middle of January till March. And sure, the older ones, they get 3 of those size servings. But it's just, it's like anybody, right? You're trying to learn a new sport versus you're playing against people that have been playing it for 10 to 12 years. And of course, those teams, Arizona State, they're a little more physically talented than some of the beach teams that we've played too. Like for an example, like we played Southern Miss, who's another D1 full-time beach team. Our physicality allowed us to win that one, which was like a really, really fun duel to win.
It was 3-2. It was a close
3-2, came down to the 1s and 3s. Our 5s, I believe it was Carrie Leinbach and Jaden Robinson won. So we split. So the way a normal beach match works is most of the time you don't play all 6 at the same time. So you play the evens, 2, 4s, and 6s. The 6s are the exhibition. So the nice part about exhibition, I want you to think about it this way. And this is actually a really, really cool thing in beach volleyball they have. Exhibition is a match you play against the other team, but that doesn't count. So you could even play your red shirts. So like typically like we're playing against other teams' red shirts, and the coaches explain to me, we play them in the exhibition because it doesn't hurt their eligibility, but they get to play with the jersey on, with referees against other teams, but they don't ever it doesn't burn into their eligibility, which is kind of cool because that's very unlike other sports. Other sports, you don't really get to play a real match against other teams, or hey, you don't get to, maybe football. I know football, you get like 4 games, right? But like basketball.
Yeah, but it's still pretty rare. I mean, you get that every single beach volleyball match.
Versus you could play every match in the exhibitions throughout the year.
I don't know if there's another sport like that.
I can't think of another one that, like, football has a limit, right?
Yeah, basketball, all these things have limits, but
No, but like basketball is a limit if you get hurt. It doesn't have like a, hey, you can go play 10 games, stop at 10. Like football, I believe, is 4 games.
Mm-hmm.
Beach volleyball, you can play in all 30 matches. As long as you play in the exhibitions, it doesn't affect your thing. So what I was getting at is you usually play it in 2 waves. So in the beginning, you have the even matches. So you have the 2s, the 4s, and the 6s, which is the exhibition play first. We split the 2s and the 4s. Harbor Murray and Annie Jackson won the 2s and 4s, or the 2s, and we lost. Olivia Malk and Manayo Beche lost the 4s. So it was 1-1 going into the odd number matches that all count 5s, 3s, and 1s. The 1s and the 3s, they went to the 3rd set while Jaden Robinson and Carrie Leinbach like snuck out the 2nd set and got a win. So we were up 2-1, and it's pretty fun now because you're starting 3 setters next to each other, and now it's like we only need to win one of these. And Skylar Pierce and Lainey Choboy were able to pull that one out, and we were able to win that duel 3-2, which is pretty awesome for our team. Just because, again, sure. Nebraska, we have the brand name. You have these players that are really physically talented, but you're playing against another D1 school that actually plays the exact sport we're playing them in all year round, So I know people might get caught up in like the name and all that, and it's not like a big brand name school, but it's a school that like they have a bunch of really good players. And, I don't think they underestimated us to a degree, but I think there was a little bit of like, the talk around the town to a degree is what does Nebraska beach volleyball do? What are they? How good are they? Hey, they're an indoor team that does beach for just a portion of their season, which is true. But it was really cool to see us kind of like persevere and kind of win that one. We kind of lost a tough one to Arizona State, kind of took it on the chin there, and we were able to kind of turn it around and beat another full-fledged, full-time D1 team in Southern Miss. So it was a really fun weekend in the desert for sure.
Do you get like a little bit of do you feel there's a little bit of extra pressure with teams really wanting to beat Nebraska? Like this is our.
I think here's it's crazy because you can see it go back and forth, right? Like if I'm trying to put them, and I'm not the other coach, I can't, but I'm kind of like, okay, you have. You have some of the most famous volleyball players in the country on this team. They're not really a full beach team, but they're all great. A lot of them are really good volleyball players.
Yeah.
So it's like we can out-athlete a lot of other teams. Like if you saw us come up to the beach facility, we look the part. Like we're more like in general, an indoor team tends to be a little more physical than the average beach team. But then when you start seeing us play and warm up and even pepper and like we're chasing the ball when the wind starts moving, we don't really know how to control it for the most part.
Right.
Then you're like, okay, they're an indoor team. But then there's a little like we can say we beat Nebraska or we beat
100%.
Bergen Riley or Harper Murray, so like they go you can feel it go back and forth because I like now I've been through this for a few years now, especially when the bigger schools have gone like split where they're not using indoor players, they're using full-time beach players. You can see like some coaches go, well, we can't really lose to them because they don't play this sport very often, but like they have some athletes that are probably more physically gifted than some of our athletes. So you can see like,
there's a little bit of tug and pull.
Yeah.
Well, I wondered if there was that pride thing too, where it's like, we're not going to let.
There's times where between you and I, and it's happened this year, it's happened in years past, where you have like the bigger D1 beach teams and maybe we've won like the duel. And like before it was like, they're kind of a good buddy of mine, not a good buddy, but like they're very friendly at the beginning of the match with the coach's handshake.
Right.
And then after we win the duel, you could see there's a little bit of like, oh boy, I'm maybe not as cool with Jaylen as I was 2 hours ago kind of a thing. So I don't know. I try to think of it too. Like, man, if one of these teams randomly put together an indoor team in the fall and they played us and they beat us, how would I feel too? So I don't know. I think there's a little bit because most of the athletes. But at the same time, you're trying to fight but at the same time, they're not a beach team, but you're also trying to get your team to like, hey, they're not a beach team, But if they play really well, they're going to, I'll use Harper Murray and Andy Jackson for an example. Like 2 superior athletes in the sport of volleyball. If they play really well and you keep it close, they're necessarily, most of the time, they're better athletes than the teams they're playing. They don't have the understanding of beach volleyball or the mastery of beach volleyball or understanding how to use the certain weather elements to their advantage as some other teams do. So it's a tough question to ask. I would say there is pressure, but it's like a little different pressure. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it's totally unique. Which is what I thought, interesting to bring up, and did a good job breaking down that dynamic. But you did mention Harper Murray, Andy Jackson, and they were actually one to actually push it to, I think, I want to say it was Arizona State. They pushed it to 3 sets.
Yep.
And they actually competed really well, and that's a top 10 program. But those two in particular is that just kind of example of their athleticism, despite not being on just a sand volleyball team, or both those have quite a bit of experience with sand volleyball already?
I think it's a mixture of everything, right? Like they're older now, right? So they've played a couple of years. But I think also too, there's they're both elite athletes. I think it's a combination of everything and then I think they're also just competitors, right? And I would also say this is like those two, even in their indoor careers, they tend to like rise to the level of their opponent. And I'm not saying like, oh, they're bored with some other teams, but I think obviously like in Arizona State and Arizona, University of Tampa, who we're going to play this coming week. Sorry. Like those are the kind of the opponents you're like, whoa, so I think it was just a combination of all three.
And with the chemistry coming along, I mean, between those two, obviously I think it's pretty solid if they're able to push a top 10 opponent like in Arizona State. But how have you just seen the chemistry on some of these groups coming together?
No, I think that's like the biggest thing. I feel like it was very productive out in Arizona. I thought, in my opinion, Lainey Choboy and Skylar Pierce, even though they played together last year, they've made the biggest strides together. I think Virginia Adriano and Gabby DeVito, one of our freshmen, they've made like huge strides just individually, skill-wise as beach volleyball players.
They seem like they make like a great beach volleyball duo.
Yes. And
with their sizes.
Yeah, they've gotten better. I mean, there's a lot of, I think all of our teams have gotten better. Even Ryan Hunter and Keani Williams, who just played exhibitions all weekend, they got better. So I think a lot of it is just like each team, they need to like learn how, when they're playing really well, how do they play really well? What does that look like? Because that might look differently for Harper and Andy than it does for Bergen and T, or for Carrie and Jayden. Like, just because of there's certain physicality differences, or there's certain height differences, or there's certain skill sets different for each team. For us, it's like each team's going to have different strengths and weaknesses. So for us, it's like we're trying to get them to understand. And I think the kids are also trying to figure out, what does our team do when we're really successful? How are we playing? What are we doing? And that answer might be different for somebody else.
On a quick side note, I was just thinking about this. Is there a pro beach volleyball league?
There is here in America. It's called the AVP.
Okay.
So they have like a pro league. A lot of my buddies play in it, especially on the men's side. And then I have, a few friends on the girls' side that play. We actually have a former player, Allie Batenhorst, who played for us a couple years ago. She transferred to USC for last year. She's partnering up with Sarah Hughes. She actually played in her first FIVB. FIVB is like the International Federation of, think of what FIBA is to basketball. The FIVB is what is to, or FIFA for soccer. The FIVB is what it is to volleyball. Allie is playing in the FIVB with the former USC women's volleyball player. She got her first FIVB medal this past week in India, I believe. So it's like, if you're a pro beach volleyball, especially volleyball player here in America, you're playing on two tours. You're playing on the AVP, which is kind of like the American tour that kind of starts April to August-ish. And then the FIVB ones that are, you play around the world, you play internationally. And then those are the kind of the ones that you have to play to qualify for the Olympics and stuff like that.
Okay, cool. For some reason, I didn't know if that one existed. Has that been growing?
How long
has that been around?
I would say it fluctuates. Both of them have been around for years.
Okay.
The AVP has been around for years, but AVP has been around for back in the 80s and 90s, it was huge.
Really?
Jose Cuervo used to sponsor it. So they used to do a really nice job. The money's gone down a little bit since then, for sure. Hence why a lot of the Americans are starting to play FIVB, but it's also a way to like qualify the World Championships. If you can make it on that tour, the FIVB tour, the international tour, that you're one of the best players in the world. Those people, the Americans that do really well there, they tend to do very well on the AVP and they can make a living. But I would say, and I don't quote me because I don't know all the finances, but playing beach volleyball, you have to be one of like the best to make a serious career out of it.
Yeah. Wrestling is kind of like that too. I know we just talked about those guys, but like if you're going to do
I would
it,
bet is the same way. Basically, you need to play good enough where you can get sponsors to sponsor you
and compete around the globe.
They can travel you around. Like, I mean, depending on your sponsor, right? You might even get a salary from them. Like, I would think it's kind of like golf, professional golf, but golf, it's like if you do really well in one big tournament, you make a lot of money.
Yeah,
right?
You're kind of set for that year.
Yeah, so it's kind of like it's even if you win an AVP tournament, you might be with your partner splitting 30 grand, which is a lot of money. But like when you get to 15 grand, you pay taxes on it. Especially the fact that like in general, if you're really good at beach volleyball, you're living in Manhattan Beach, Hermosa Beach, California, which is not cheap places to live. It's not like you can kind of live. You can't really live anywhere and do that because it's really hard because eventually you have to get out there and train all the time.
Right.
So it's a tough sport to make a living in, but for me, randomly, it's like I have a bunch of buddies that have, had 7, 8, 9, 10-year careers playing beach.
Okay. So yeah, sorry to get in that side tangent, but we're in talking beach volleyball, and with the growth that everything has been volleyball, I wondered if beach volleyball was seeing some of the same effects.
I would also say beach volleyball has really grown too professionally because of the sport, because of women's NCAA women's beach volleyball. There's just there's more people playing beach volleyball because you have more people just playing, especially college, girls that are 18 to 22, 23 years old.
100%. A little bit of time here left. So 11 into you get done with Arizona. Followed up next. What is like the goal? I'd imagine it's not like I want X amount of wins, on this many losses. Like, what is the real objective as you're going through the season? And it does just kind of go by in a hurry.
I mean, I think for us is like winning matters, right? So we want to win as many matches as we can. We never put like hey, we want a winning record or, we need to beat this team or yada yada. And obviously, we're not playing for like a conference or or like a national championship per se. For those that don't know, like our season, no matter what, will end in, how long is it now? Just about 10, 11 days from now. It's the last Saturday of the season, I believe, is like the 22nd.
Yeah, 21st.
21st. So there's no like exact, hey, we need to hit this mark. But a lot of it is, are we getting better? Are we growing together as a team? And is this prepping us for indoor? So I would say those are the things. I know they're not like tangible, things. But I mean, one thing we want to do is the University of Tampa is a really, really good team. They've won like D2 national championships. They are really, really good. And a lot of these Florida teams are pretty good because they just have a lot of kids that play. Even in Arizona, a lot of the smaller schools we played there, they had a bunch of kids that could play.
Yeah, there's Southern Miss, and who was it? OUAZ.
Yep.
Yeah, it was also another 3-2 match.
That was,
close.
they're like the defending NAIA national champions. And
okay.
I want you to like, people need to understand this. Like, because there's not that many D1 teams, it's not like men's basketball, women's basketball, football, where because there's so many Division I teams, most of the talent goes there in terms of top talent, that it's almost impossible for an NAIA football team to beat a Division I, top division football team.
Right.
Versus like in beach volleyball, because there's so few schools and there's so few opportunities, and there's so few scholarship opportunities, some really good players decide, hey, we're just going to stay local. We're going to stay at home, go to Ottawa, Arizona, and play good beach volleyball. And then you match that up with, you have a school that is in a location where you can literally train outside in really perfect weather all the time. You get a really good beach coach in there, and suddenly that school is really good at their division, but they're also like beating Division I teams. So
bowling's very similar.
Yes.
I mean, just look at the Big Ten. Nebraska's the only one in the Big Ten.
The smaller sports.
Yeah.
You have a very wide range of like teams that are really good. you know, and stuff like that. And then sometimes like teams, especially because beach volleyball is relatively a new Division I sport.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny because it's like, because it's so new, you don't necessarily have maybe USC and UCLA have like the history because they've won all the national championships. But it's like, if someone gets good right away, it's pretty easy to get good right away because you're not fighting like this history of, hey, these two programs have been great for 50 years. It's only been a sport for 10 years, 11 years. So it's not like, oh, it has this massive, hey, you're fighting against these schools because they have, 50 to 100 years of winning.
Right.
So it allows for and then because of not necessarily everybody is on a full ride, you'll have kids go to other schools because they got money to go to these schools. And when you think about it, if you're a really good beach volleyball team, you only need, because you think about it, to win a duel, you have to win 3 out of the 5 matches. You could have 6 really good players. And if they win all the time, you're going to win at least 3-2 at minimum every single time. So it's not like you need to be great at this. You don't need 25 good beach volleyball players. Honestly, you just need 6 that work together. And then you can win ones, 2s, and 3s. And if your 4s or 5s squeak out a win, great. But when you think about it, you only need 6 really great players, So like that Ottawa, Arizona, they had 2 teams that were really, really good, and they pushed us to third sets in other matches. Like that could have gone either way either. And I know on paper, it would be an upset on paper.
Versus Ottawa.
But like if you were to watch, like, whoa, if you were to take the jerseys and put all 4 players on the court in like a white shirt, you would be like, whoa, these two are definitely, like, this group might be the better beach volleyball team.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes you'd be pointing to the other team just because, again, the style of play is so different from indoor. It's similar, but it's different. I know the skills are called the same things: blocking, serving, hitting, passing, but they're very different in terms of that. And then you add the outdoor elements to it. It can I would say the outdoor elements can and the depth of the sand can neutralize, hey, maybe we're a little taller or a little more physical or a little maybe quicker on solid ground that doesn't move. The sand can neutralize a lot of that too.
And before we throw it to break and get to Florida and what's coming up next starting March 14th, quick question. Is there a volleyball school that's put together like a beach volleyball dynasty so far where they've just been like on top year in, year out?
UCLA and USC.
Okay.
Those are by far the 2 best teams. They're the only one. TCU is the defending national champion, but before that, when it's been an NCAA sport, the only teams that have ever won it is UCLA and USC. I want to say like SC might have like 6 titles and UCLA has 5, and then like TCU has won one last year. It's definitely spreading out. I think UCLA right now is the best team, or number 1. I think Stanford. People are saying Stanford is the best team though, so Stanford could get it done. Texas is really good now,
and Stanford's definitely its own unique. Like they're not like you guys where they got their own.
No, all these schools that I'm talking about, like LSU, they might have like a player from their indoor team play, but most of the time that player doesn't even crack their top 5, the lineup.
Okay.
When I say the lineup, the top 5, because they just don't play it very, like you think about it. I mean,
it's totally fair. I just had to ask
it's
about
a full-time
Stanford.
sport.
It's like, whoa, if that's, not what I'm thinking.
Yeah. So Stanford has their own play. Like most of Stanford's lineup, I don't even know who those kids are because they don't even grow up playing indoor volleyball anymore. Most of those kids nowadays, they're just purely doing beach volleyball depending on where they grow up.
Well, that makes total sense. I mean, especially with UCLA and USC dominant. Geography checks out on that one as to why they would be good. With that being said, we'll throw it to break. We'll get to Florida and what's coming up for Nebraska beach volleyball. Harrison Arns, associate head coach Jaylen Reyes. We'll talk to you in a little bit.
MWR, a local company of Lincoln, is proud to announce they are able to offer their own post-frame building packages in metal to anyone desiring a building, whether you're a contractor or a DIYer. They can install your building as always, and they offer multiple different rib profiles and loads of color options, including the wood grain metal at great competitive prices. You can inquire at mwrbuildingandfence.com or just draw your desired building and submit it in their contact us page and they'll get back to you. Call MWR today at 402-540-8966. A lot of businesses say they're family focused, but when tough situations in life arise, the business wants anything but your best interests. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring, and they will always treat their employees like family, just as they do their customers. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring Class A and B CDL drivers, a shop tech, and a diesel mechanic. If you're looking for a career with a company that goes above and beyond to value you and your family, apply today at jamesenterpriseinc.com or call 402-432-6740.
Do you ever feel okay in your current job and profession, but wonder if there's a better company that can offer more? Vision Mechanical is now hiring for journeyman plumbers and HVAC service technicians. Vision Mechanical offers top-of-the-industry wages, 100% paid health, disability, and life insurance, 401k with employee match, and paid holidays and vacation. Vision Mechanical believes in craftsmanship, teamwork, and building a better future one project at a time. Apply today or learn more at visionmechanical.net or email Ron at vmech.net.
Spring storms happen, but LES line workers are ready. While they're out in the weather, you can stay inside and still lend a hand by reporting your outage at les.com/report.
There's no place like McKinney's Irish Pub for St. Patrick's Day, so mark your calendars to join in on the fun for their 12th annual Street Festival. The party goes all weekend long, but starts on March 14th and 15th with tons of giveaways, great Irish food, and green beer. And it continues on Tuesday the 17th for actual St. Patrick's Day. Doors open for the bar at 9 a.m. on Saturday, 11 a.m. on Sunday, and 9 a.m. on Tuesday. And the street party starts at 2 p.m. all 3 days. Don't miss out on great music and great fun with no cover charge for St. Patrick's Day weekend at McKinney's Irish Pub, located at 8th and P.
If you become ill or injured at work and need an experienced attorney, call Liberty Law Group. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group will defend you in court, protect your rights and freedom to get you the best possible results for your case and the justice you deserve. Trust your rights and freedom to Liberty Law Group, attorneys serving Nebraska and Iowa. Call them today at 877-404-5238. That's 877-404-5238. Or check them out online at libertylawgroup.com.
A membership with John Henry's will fast-track you to front-of-the-line service, seasonal tune-ups, and far fewer unexpected moments. That means no breakdowns, no waiting on a call, and no nonsense. It's consistent care that prevents small issues from turning into big bills. Join the Comfort Club and get VIP treatment 365 days a year with 24-hour priority response, member-only discounts, and peace of mind on your home's most expensive systems. Call John Henry's.
John Henry's Plumbing, heating and air.
And electrical.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC. And right now at Koppel, we're offering big discounts on all of our inventory. 2026 GMC Terrains are leasing at $279 per month or buy for $27,690. 2026 Canyon is leasing for $269 or buy for $40,980. Also right now, all new Equinox EVs and all half-ton trucks are starting at $12,000 off MSRP. These are just a few examples of some of the aggressive pricing going on right now at Koppel. Please stop on in or check us out at koppelcars.com. All leases with $2,500 down with a roof credit.
You're counting on your team to win, so why not prove it? By placing your bets at Warhorse Sportsbook. Their win is your win. Put your money where your mouth is on nearly every sporting event. Use the Warhorse app to check odds and build your bets before placing your wagers in person at Warhorse Casino, including live in-game betting. No bets, no glory. Wagers may only be placed on Nebraska-based teams when played outside the state of Nebraska. Must be 21 or older to gamble. Gambling problem? Call 1-833-BET-OVER.
Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket immediately after every Nebraska men's basketball game for 1 hour of post-game recap. The Nebraska Basketball Postgame Show is sponsored by Union Bank and Trust, John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electrical, Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services, and the Lincoln Airport on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Spring sports are here and it's time to upgrade your equipment. But don't go rushing to your big box store. Play It Again Sports is your place to go for all spring sports equipment for baseball, softball, golf, and disc golf. Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And don't forget, buying from them is a great way to get new products with great discounts by also bringing in your used items for store credit or cash on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome into Serve and Volley with your host, Nebraska Assistant Coach and Recruiting Coordinator Jaylen Reyes.
Welcome back in Serve and Volley with Associate Head Coach of the Nebraska Volleyball Program, Jaylen Reyes, and also Coach of the Beach Volleyball Program, Jaylen Reyes. So, that being said, let's talk about Florida coming up here and kind of a mad dash to finish out the beach volleyball season. March 14th, you got two games on the 15th, a game on the 16th, 2 on the 17th, 2 on the 18th, 1 on the 19th, and then 2 on the 21st. And then that's the volleyball season. When you see that ahead, all in Florida, I mean, what was the mindset to get through that and just kind of putting that many games together back to back to back?
I think, one, it's also like making sure beach volleyball, again, is different for people that we've gone over. You can play multiple matches in different days. We probably won't get play. Like, not everyone will play every single match and everyone will play every single day. So that kind of helps. But I think also it's just part of us is like making sure, hey, we're justifying being down there and being able to play. And for us, we just want to play matches and that's how we get better. And kids want to get down there and compete, and weather's nice. And there's a lot of teams that want to play us. So it's kind of one of those things where it's like, hey, let's just play, and we can kind of load manage them as we go, because we kind of have a big roster this year. Some years I only have 10 players, so everyone has to play every single match. Versus this year, it's kind of nice with 16, and we can kind of rotate teams in and out. That's kind of what we did in Arizona.
How's the coaching for you? Do you find, like, when you got the schedules like this and just keeping track that watching all your players, you got your staff with you as well helping out, but just keeping track of everything and making sure that there's, again, maybe not just looking for sole wins and losses, but tracking progress in the athletes? Yeah,
I mean, I think that's the biggest thing, right? Like, I don't remember their records at the end of the year, their individual team record. I don't remember that. I don't even remember our team record, if I'm being honest. It's just, are they learning? How are they composing themselves when they're outside their comfort zone? And, for us too, is like the kids that can finish, right? They got to put themselves in a position to finish matches. But the kids that like have this aura about them that like, I'm going to finish this match. Whether they do it or not is to a degree different. It's more just, it's a vibe you get from the kids. For us, those are the things that translate in an indoor. How you set on the beach versus how you set indoor sometimes doesn't travel. How you serve on the beach versus serve indoor sometimes doesn't transfer. But like, how you can stay composed when things don't go your way. Are you going to finish at the end of the games? Are you going to be the person that wants the ball at the end of the game? Those are the things. And I guess your ability to learn and do new things, those are the things that really transfer. And the kids that tend to be successful inside, they can all do those things, and they tend to be more successful playing beach volleyball as well.
How big's the staff that you have helping you out there?
So it's just our other two assistant coaches, Kelly Hunter and Brendan Hager. So that's kind of our, that's so kind of trio. Like, that's kind of the deal that we've always had, like since we've been here, where it's like, at the time, Coach Cook would never coach beach. I was the head coach of it. And then, at the time, Caleb Anworth was my assistant. And then we actually got Tyler Hildebrand back for a little bit, and he was head coach of USA Beach Volleyball. But those are the years during the quarantine, and then we had that spring season. So we didn't play anybody. Like, we just never did any indoor volley. We didn't do any beach volleyball while he was here. And then he left, and then I kind of became the head coach again, and, and stuff like that. So it's always kind of been like, hey, Jaylen and then the other assistant. And now we have two other assistants. So it's kind of been like Jaylen, Brennan, and Kelly show the last couple of years since Danny's been here.
Okay. So that's a smart stuff. But then I guess, well, these matches you're watching, multiple at a time, but you only got two athletes that are out there.
Right.
So I guess that checks out.
And usually it's like, well, there's 3 courts going. So I take a court, Kelly takes a court, and Brennan takes a court. And sometimes we try to rotate them. Maybe not during the match, but we rotate. Hey, the next time that this pair plays, maybe Brennan, you go with them. One, because it's like team bonding, coach to player bonding as well too.
Are you scouting the other teams at all?
I'll go. So like, for an example, like I went to go watch like Southern Miss when they were playing Stephen F. Austin early on Friday. I went to watch them play a little bit. The thing about beach volleyball is you could move people's slots around. You could flip out players. So it's like, I went to watch a little bit, but it necessarily wasn't. I think for us, we're looking more for like overall themes, not necessarily what individual players does, because beach volleyball, sometimes it just depends on how they play you, or it depends on the wind, right? Someone might only hit the ball this direction, but then they play us and the wind's totally different direction. They hit the ball the other way. So I think it's more just like their style of play if that makes sense, and how they want to play. And, hey, do they set the ball fast? How do they serve? Where do they serve from? Stuff like that we feel like, okay, that will translate no matter who they play. So there's a little bit of scouting, but it's not as thorough as we do indoor.
And how you guys handle like the nourishment, nutrition, and the health side of things when you're out there and you got, in Florida, you don't have the nice, beautiful training table that we have here in Lincoln. And you're out there for quite a while playing all these games. And if it's, 100 degrees or whatever that day, keeping everyone hydrated.
One thing we feel like, okay, our nutrition staff does a really good job of like prepping us before we go on a trip.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully the girls are taking care of their stuff too, right? Like hydrating and stuff like that. Our athletic trainer, Jolene Emerson, who's with us on the trip and stuff like that. But a lot of it is on us coaches and on the players, and making sure we have like itineraries set correctly to where that way we can play our best. We usually have like, honestly, if I'm being honest, we have like an insane amount of like snacks on trips with us.
What are the go-tos? Like you must for beach volleyball.
Oh gosh. I don't know. The girls love like granola stuff. I think for beach volleyball, a lot of it is you don't want to a degree because it's like, for the most part, it's like you're hot and sweaty all the time. Like you try to stay away from like salty things at the time because just people don't really eat them because it's not really
it doesn't
appetizing.
Sound good. Like a cutie, a nice orange.
Yeah, like fruit stuff, like
like
fruit, like different types of fruit are usually kind of the go-to and people like because it's associated with eating outside. And most of the time, like they go and eat something like in between a match or during a set or during a timeout. They're usually like, like what you said, they're in 80, 85, 90 degree weather.
Mm-hmm.
It's usually hot. One also like they're usually sandy and dirty, right? So it's kind of like one of those things where what sounds good at the moment, and usually it's like fruit, Gatorade, water. Those are the kind of things that at the end of the day, like other things sound good, but they don't end up eating them because like you would never want to eat this while you're playing beach volleyball, certain things. So those are the things, those lighter things, those like simpler carbohydrates kind of go down a little quicker.
Right.
And stuff that for me at the time kind of needs to taste good or else they probably are going to pass on it anyway. And during a match, especially if you're playing 3 sets, sometimes you need a little pick-me-up during the game.
100%. Just get a watermelon out there. Just cut off slices.
Yeah, a little orange slices. Come on. It's like little kid soccer season again,
With that being said, we gotta, we're actually already up to the clock here. So we'll throw it to break one more time, and then we'll wrap up with Associate Head Coach of the volleyball program, Jaylen Reyes, Harrison Arns on the 1s and 2s. And we'll wrap up talking a little bit more Nebraska beach volleyball out there in Florida starting on March 14th. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back in just a little bit. 93.7 The Ticket.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see mainly sunny skies and it will be breezy. In the afternoon, high around 65. Tonight, a chance of rain showers, otherwise partly cloudy, a low around 36. And tomorrow, we'll see decreasing clouds throughout the day. It'll be breezy. In the afternoon, high near 53. I'm meteorologist Kyle Puckett for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program by building a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today. Parents deal with a lot of what-ifs. What if my child gets a scholarship? What if they don't? What if they go to college? Or what if they pursue a trade? Nest 529 makes it easy to save for higher education costs so you're always prepared for life's what-ifs. Learn more at nest529.com/hoops. Check with your home state to learn if it offers tax or other benefits for investing in its own 529 plan. Investment products are not FDIC insured, may lose value, no bank guarantee.
Where there's smoke, there's flavor, and there's plenty of it at the Smokehouse at Super Savor and Russ's Market. Award-winning old world recipes made in Lincoln since 1984 with many flavors of smoked sausage and brats to choose from. The Smokehouse has something special for every season, brats and sausages for the grill, beef sticks and beef jerky for snacking, and smoked salmon, smoked turkey, or smoked hams for your holiday feast. Stop by the Smokehouse at Super Saver and Russ's Market today to fulfill your search for real flavor.
Spring storms happen, but LES line workers are ready. While they're out in the weather, you can stay inside and still lend a hand by reporting your outage at les.com/report.
Shopping for new flooring is different today. Getting your questions answered, making the right selection, getting the best value, and installed quickly and professionally. Visit ostreetcarpet.com or shop our store. We'll answer all your questions and help you make the right choice. You'll be enjoying your new floor in just days for less than you'd pay elsewhere. Carpet, vinyl, wood, laminate, tile, and area rugs. We've got it all.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
At Planet Fitness, we're getting strong for the season's biggest games. Join now and your first month is free. Whether you're chasing a buzzer beater or your everyday goals, we've got next level amenities like red light recovery and hydro massage to help you rebound and recover. Plus, with the PF Black Card, you can bring a friend anytime and access over 2,800 locations. Join now for $1 down, $24.99 a month, and get your first month free. No commitment. Deal ends Friday, March 13th. Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet.
There's no place like McKinney's Irish Pub for St. Patrick's Day, so mark your calendars to join in on the fun for their 12th annual Street Festival. The party goes all weekend long, but starts on March 14th and 15th with tons of giveaways, great Irish food, and green beer. And it continues on Tuesday the 17th for actual St. Patrick's Day. Doors open for the bar at 9 a.m. on Saturday, 11 a.m. on Sunday, and 9 a.m. on Tuesday. And the street party starts at 2 p.m. all 3 days. Don't miss out on great music and great fun with no cover charge for St. Patrick's Day weekend at McKinney's Irish Pub, located at 8th and P. Spring sports are here and it's time to upgrade your equipment. But don't go rushing to your big box store. Play It Again Sports is your place to go for all spring sports equipment for baseball, softball, golf, and disc golf. Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And don't forget, buying from them is a great way to get new products with great discounts by also bringing in your used items for store credit or cash on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
When you or someone you know has been seriously injured and you find yourself in need of an attorney, call Liberty Law Group. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group will fight for the justice you deserve in court to get the very best possible outcome. Trust the compassionate and hardworking attorneys at Liberty Law Group when you need an attorney in Nebraska or Iowa. Call them today at 877-404-5238. That's 877-404-5238. Or check them out online at libertylawgroup.com.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize to participate in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the KNTK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, where your prize will be forfeited. Thank you for participating in our contests, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
If you become ill or injured at work and need an experienced attorney, call Liberty Law Group. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group will defend you in court, protect your rights and freedom to get you the best possible results for your case and the justice you deserve. Trust your rights and freedom to Liberty Law Group. Attorneys serving Nebraska and Iowa. Call them today at 877-404-5238. That's 877-404-5238. Or check them out online at libertylawgroup.com.
Welcome into Serve and Volley with your host, Nebraska Assistant Coach and Recruiting Coordinator Jaylen Reyes.
Welcome back in. Harrison Arns on the ones and twos. We got Associate Head Coach of Nebraska Volleyball Program, Jaylen Reyes. And if you guys want to join in, you're always welcome to Certain Haven text line. We also got Mandy Munson, former Husker volleyball player, coming up next on her show. Debuted it last week for the Girls Club, where she gives you some of her expertise in her own business ventures, along with she's always a Husker at heart. So she's always got a little bit of those volleyball conversations as well. And speaking of volleyball, we're talking beach volleyball. They still got Florida left, and then the season wraps up. Starts on the 14th all the way through the 21st. How many different locations are you hopping around?
Gosh, we're playing at one in Leesburg, just north of Orlando.
Yep, the Lake Gem Farms Beach Court Complex.
Yes, some of these complexes are insane.
I bet you some
they're
are beautiful.
absolutely
Yeah.
insane. Then we're playing one in like the Bradenton area. I think we're gonna play a total of like 5 or 6 different ones. Some of them are newer. Some of them are gonna be honestly on the beach. We're actually gonna play one day against a bunch of like kind of more of an exhibition against a bunch of I was talking about pro beach volleyball. A bunch of AVP players. So we're gonna have
New College of Florida,
but we're gonna play that same day. We're gonna play against some AVP pros as a match. They're gonna have 6 pairs, and these are guys that are girls that are trying to qualify, maybe former college players that are trying to qualify for the AVP tour. So we're gonna be playing some people that their livelihood depends on playing beach volleyball. So
crazy.
We'll see how that's gonna go. But and then the University of Tampa is kind of the big school that we're gonna play. They're I don't know, multi-time Division II national champions in beach volleyball. Again, these guys would beat half of the D1 teams. Like that's how good they are. And just that area, that Tampa area, it cranks out so many beach volleyball players. So like the average, it's like college football, right? When college football, it's like when, sorry, Nebraska fans, but like when Scott Frost won the national championship at UCF, like most of those players were just the average players in Florida that didn't get recruited to Florida, Miami, or Florida State or an SEC school. So they just decided to go to UCF. And they're pretty good. The average football player in Florida is pretty good. The average beach volleyball player in the state of Florida is pretty good. And then a lot of these teams I was looking through, they have a lot of foreigners. So a lot of foreigners are coming over to play beach volleyball. I think a lot of them are probably like, yeah, we'll go to school in the state of Florida for a couple of years and try to figure out this NCAA thing. So it should be a fun trip. I think some of the schools are going to be better than we think based on their names. But we're looking forward to kind of getting down there and kind of growing as a team. And, this is kind of our last little run to see like how good can we be.
Yeah, you got some interesting teams in here. It's in the pros. I have to apologize. That's the 17th. I think that's the one you're talking about. You're gonna okay.
Yes.
And then you have another exhibition against New College of Florida.
Yes.
But that one's on the.
That 19th. One's gonna be we're gonna do something different where it's gonna be like a bracket. So like our girls can end up playing each other in this bracket. It's kind of like how an AVP tournament is actually played. So it'd be kind of like a double elimination tournament to where, hey, there'll be like one team standing at the end. So it could be a team from them. It could be a team from us. We could have 2 teams from Nebraska in the final. We could have 2 teams from New College in the final. So it should be we're kind of doing something different because we've already played each other. We would have played each other 2 days before that. And then Palm Beach Atlantic is another good one. They're from the Palm Beach area. We're going to play them, I believe.
The 14th. You kick off with those guys.
Yeah. And we're going to play those guys. And, they're another school that's like pretty talented in beach volleyball. They have a coach that's like, let's just say resume wise is probably like outkicked his coverage at that school, but he just stays there. Cause if you ever been to Palm Beach, Florida, that's like, for those that are watching the PGA Tour this weekends or these past couple weekends when the PGA Tour has been in Florida, like Palm Beach is pretty awesome. So he's like, hey, I get to coach beach volleyball. I get to live in Palm Beach, Florida. I think I'm good. There's a
bad choice.
A lot of schools that are like adding beach volleyball, in certain states, maybe kind of, or in the South, in the Texas, on the West Coast. They always call him to say if he wants to be their coach, and he's just like, nah, I'm good. I'm good here. And if you want to come visit me, you'll understand why I'm good here.
That's a great life to live. And shout out to him. That one should be a lot of fun. It's kind of cool to see some of these different universities too that, you don't really look at all until you get to the beach volleyball season. And 14th, like I said, all the way through the 21st. What are you most looking forward to, or what are the girls most looking forward to, even if it's not volleyball related?
No, I think these trips usually what we do is we go to Hawaii this time of the year. But just the Hawaii trip didn't work out this year because Hawaii is going to be gone on their spring break trip. We happen to have the same spring break this year. A lot of it is good amount of it is the volleyball, but a lot of it is just like the team bonding, the activities they get to do, going to the beach. We're staying right on the beach down in the Bradenton area, so that's going to be fun. And I think a lot of it is just kind of getting to know people outside of, hey, the volleyball gym, and getting to know people, interacting at a deeper level that, necessarily if you're an indoor trainer, you don't really always have time to do. And because we're going to be on trips together for, 9 to 10 days, we have all this extra time that necessarily maybe us coaches don't get to spend with the athletes. So I think it's just growing together as a team and, being able to have all this time together for the next, week or two.
Should be a lot of fun. And I know we can always check it out. I think I've asked, but do you know if people want to watch these, if anyone's going to be streaming them out there?
I think if you go to the school's websites, whoever we're playing that day, that's kind of how you can check them out. Because most of the time nowadays, a lot of people do like live streaming and stuff like that. So if you go to the school, whichever school we're playing that day, for the most part, they have in the past, that's kind of how they either do live stats or live streaming.
That usually checks out. So definitely, if you're trying to keep an eye on it, you can always just follow the Huskers social media pages. They'll keep you updated, but you can always try finding the streams on some of the other university pages as well. All right, we're going to go ahead and get out of here. Don't go anywhere. Mandy Munson up next for the Girls Club right here on 93.7 The Ticket.